Hi, I'm Craig. That's my brother Brad. Welcome to Weekdays with Craig and Brad.
Life is hard, but you can't give up. Let's have a conversation. Weekdays, we're gonna make it today. Weekdays with Craig and Brad.
Episode 59, Brad.
Yeah.
We made it.
Oh my gosh. We trudged through the snow to get here, but we made it. Well, you did.
We did. I did. Yes, it was a very long, grueling, like legitimately two of the longest days of my life. Legitimately. Yeah. It was awesome. And I am forever grateful for electricity and heat, and I value it way more now than I did just a mere 2 days ago. So I'll tell you that much. It was nuts. It was been a crazy 2 days. But I'm gonna talk about that here in a little bit. But man, oh man, like I am so stoked to be doing this. But I gotta switch things over here on Twitch. There we go. Good. Now we're good. You'll notice my background is not lit up. It is not pretty, because that's just been part of it. Things are messy. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I have these lights working, so that's good.
You got some electricity now.
Yeah, I don't have all the electricity, but the fact that there's any, and that I'm actually in my house, like there's a big story here. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to get to it.
Now you know how it feels, because see, I have some of the internet. I just don't have all of the internet, and that's why the quality on my side never looks as nice as yours. So if we get my energy and your internet together, we could have one heck of a show.
One full internet. I love that.
A full internet and a full electricity.
So, by the way, like at any time, the show could technically black out. Once again, we're still on the high wire. Like they're still doing the rolling blackout. So if the show just does end, just know that.
Yeah.
We tried.
It's another dangerous show. Oh, look. Oh, this is dangerous.
A little easy. Just relax. Wow. Oh man.
I got some of the leftovers from the last show sitting over here.
Oh, good. We did. We made it. We're back. By the way, you said you wanted to treat the last video I made as episode 58.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like. We did some, we try to just keep it going. It's called Weekdays, and that's just what that weekday was. When we did the episodes where we were camping and we went to the log cabin, we did episodes out there, just walking in the woods. Okay. And we don't always have to be sitting in our homes in a chair to do an episode. You happen to be outside underneath the lamppost light in the dead of the deadliest winter ever in Texas, and that's what the episode was. So I kind of wish that you came back from that into this show with like a full-grown beard, just holding an axe for some reason. Like you just came back from this journey.
I'll tell you this: I did some of the manliest things I've ever done over the last 24 hours. Absolutely, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But
did you wrestle a bear?
There were animal tracks in my backyard in the snow.
I can't wait. That's great.
But speaking of manly, probably the manliest of all things, Larry is back. Oh, because we have not one but two thumbs up for Larry.
2 thumbs up for Larry today. This is exciting because of the success of your video, your 2.5-minute video that has gotten more views than anything we have ever put our effort into.
Great.
Yeah. Which goes to tell you all we need to do from here on out is just have you stand under a light post out in the snow and let everybody know that you're okay.
I was thinking that's a week, like Wednesday episode.
Yeah.
Every week.
It should be.
So, Craig on the street. Let's go.
It's Craig on the street.
Craig on the corner. Here we go.
Craig on the corner. That sounds kind of creepy. Okay, so let me pull up. Here's your video here. Now look at this. 406 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Now, let me just point this out. 4 thumbs down. Who the heck are you? Who the heck are you?
I wish you were dead.
Slime scum. Good grief. So here's what happened. You posted this video last night, and I was watching the views go up, and I was like, wow, it's great. Like, people are, watching and checking it out and listening to, wishing Craig, the best, hoping he stays safe. There was 0 thumbs down for like a good 300 thumbs up. And I was like, the world's coming together. This shows me so much a good that at the end of the day, goodness can prevail, and that no matter what our arguments and differences are, that when somebody needs help, we can all be there for one another. And then, nope, 2 thumbs down, 3 thumbs down, 4 thumbs down. You SOBs out there that just couldn't help yourself. You had to take my hope in humanity and crush it just a little bit. But you know what? Not as much as the 406 thumbs up and all the beautiful comments that we got. Just really lifted my spirits and let me know, you know what? People at the end of the day aren't so bad. So look, here's where we're at. Here's where we were at, right? Achievement level 8.5 thumbs was where we left off. Larry, our good pal Larry, keeps our all-time thumbs up record going for us. We only shoot for 150 thumbs up per video in order for Larry to get a new thumb. We got 406. 407.
Yeah.
So I thought this was well-deserved for Larry to get 2 new thumbs on the next go around. So we're not even getting to 9.5. We're going straight to 10.5 thumbs. Are you ready for the unveiling of Larry and his new thumbs?
Let's get it.
All right. Drum roll. In 3, 2, 1. Can you find him?
Whoa. Yeah, he Frankensteined him. Nice.
I totally did. Larry says, just call me Larry Frankenthumbs.
Nice.
There he is. I felt like he deserved a little bit of something special. He is so looking nasty these days. Could you imagine seeing this person like at the grocery store? And not only does he have all these thumbs, but like the thumbs on his neck are like wiggling. Or like they're sticking out of his head.
Just right there. You know what needs to happen is he needs little thumbs in place of his teeth.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so nasty when we get there. Yeah, it's gonna look like a creepy 80s horror movie guy.
That's rough. That's rough stuff right there. I'll tell you what. It was crazy. While we were talking, it got me thinking about those 4 people who came in. My thought is that they were just disappointed that I'm not dead. So there's that.
Well, look, I'm an optimist. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, when you order something from Amazon and it's like a movie, and it's a great movie, but the packaging was crappy. So you give the rating of the movie a 1-star review because you're like, package came damaged and the mail didn't, the people that sent it to me did a crappy job. I was thinking maybe this was some sort of like thing where they were like, I don't like that Craig's standing out in the snow. That hurts my heart. I don't like this video. So they give it a thumbs down because they actually hurt for you.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what the internet did.
Right? Right?
Your heart's too good, Brad. Your heart's too good.
I know.
Speaking of too good, hey, guess what? It's time for the YouTube comment of the day. Check it out. This one coming from my man, Derek Hodges says, is it weird that I randomly and sporadically yell out the YouTube comment of the day? Day. Love you guys. Keep being awesome. Derek, congratulations. You get 306 points. But as a bonus today, everybody who made a comment saying nice things and on yesterday's update, listen, I'm going to be fully transparent. I did not think that we would be back up this quickly. Right? I legitimately thought it was going to be Monday until we were back. Maybe even Tuesday. But I'll get to that here in just a little bit. So everyone who wished well wishes, I greatly appreciate that. And I know it sounded much worse in the video. because it was. But kind of a little miracle happened, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. So everybody who made a comment, you also get 304 points for your tracking. So
Nice.
Congratulations. Keep track of that stuff. Everybody gets the YouTube comment of the day. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I was worried that I was preparing my mind to have to do a solo show tonight. Share my screen real quick. I was thinking of this scene from Wayne's World where Wayne has to do the show by himself.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm having a good time.
That's right.
This would have been me had I had to do the show by myself tonight. You ever seen that scene in Scanners where the dude's head blows up? He's like, yeah, that would have totally been the show tonight had we not gotten the electric back on your end.
I remember early on having to do an episode of Side Scrollers by myself just to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
And, usually we'd go like 30 to 45 minutes. And I remember going like 12 and being like, whew, gosh, that was hard. It was so difficult. It was crazy.
Yeah. I honestly, I woke up this morning. I was like, gosh, I don't know what's going to happen today.
Neither did I.
I got to fill in 20 to 30 minutes. It's funny because I've been on stage for the last 20 years of my life doing music and stuff. So I'm used to banter, but hosting a show is just different.
Yes.
And especially when you feel like you're sort of talking to yourself, but you're trying to moderate comments and interact with everybody. And it's just a different beast. So
it's tough. It's tough. John Gunn says, they're back. Not going to lie. The lighting criticism looks a little more mellow this way. That's right. Because all my lighting has not returned because, well, let me tell you, today's episode is going to be about the absolute best of people and the absolute worst of people. We're going to get the full yin and yang experience. So I'm glad you guys have joined us today. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you give this a thumbs up because that's good. And also, tell us the best thing you did for somebody here in the last 2 days, whether it's opening a door for somebody or just saying hi. Just tell us whatever it is you did, whether it was in person, whether it was online, just something that you did good for somebody else. Let us know in the comments. Maybe you'll get the YouTube comment of the day. Okay, let me tell you a little story about why we're back tonight. Like I said, I fully did not anticipate this going this quickly. When I made the video last night, I was fully wrapped around in my mind of having everything thaw out and then having the possibility of potentially returning like early next week. So in Texas, we've seen these rolling blackouts, specifically here in North Texas. I know down in Austin, I was texting with Nick, and Nick has not had power for like 2 days. It's bad. And I think that's the one thing I want to keep in mind here is that, this is not a woe is me story at all. I know there are people that are off considerably worse off. They have electric appliances. They don't have any electricity. What happened to me was just simply good luck and a lot of people coming together to help their neighbor. So let me preface that, right? So yesterday, as Texas is seeing these, in North Texas in particular, are seeing these rolling blackouts to conserve the energy on this grid. I think you need to preface it that way. Is the reason why we're seeing these rolling blackouts is because our power grid in Texas, which is unique to Texas, it's Texas's own power grid, is not set up to handle negative degree temperatures or temperatures that are this low. We are seeing the lowest temperatures literally in the last 70 years, 70, 80 years. This is like once a century type of thing that we're seeing. At DFW Airport, it was literally -2 yesterday morning. And the idea of having a negative as a temperature in Texas is mind-blowing. It's same as going to Canada and having the temperature be 107 like it is here in the summer, right? We can handle that here. We can't handle the cold. So the grid is seeing a lot of stress. People are using their space heaters and their all their electricity to keep them warm. Something that you don't necessarily have to do in the summer. People will use fans, and they'll obviously use AC, but it's a different type of energy. So it's really taxed the system here, the grid, which is at least this is the way I understand it, which has caused them the idea of let's just set it up to where everybody can conserve a little bit. We're going to give everybody about an hour, let everybody get warm. Then we're going to take it off for an hour. Then you'll have it back for an hour and so forth until the temperature kind of restores back to a regular place 30 degrees, around freezing, something that's still very cold, but we can handle, where people aren't going to be blasting it because it's -2 outside with a wind chill of -20, which is legitimately what it was. And I know that there's people up in, North Dakota or Minnesota that are like, whatever. Once again, totally different situation, right? It's just not the way things are set up down here. So as this is happening, we're seeing these. Yesterday, we actually began tracking the time in and the time out, right? So we could see if there's any sort of pattern, because they don't tell you when these blackouts are going to happen. It just happens. So you can be in the middle of baking a cake and it'll go out, and then you don't have power for an hour. Or so you got to be really sporadic, which is why on that first night, 2 episodes ago, we really tried to squeeze in an episode as fast as we could while giving you guys good stuff. So that happened throughout yesterday morning. And yesterday morning around 11:40, we tracked that our power went out. So we thought it'd be another hour or so before it came back on. Well, ours never came back on. And everyone in our neighborhood was seeing their power flicker on and off, right, throughout the afternoon. And we didn't see any of that at all. And we're like, well, this isn't right. So what's going on with this? So we call our energy company. And our energy company, of course, is getting bombarded by this stuff, right? They're getting bombarded by everybody, letting them know that these power outages are happening, because people may not know about the rolling blackouts thing. And so as this is happening, I put in a request on the phone, and it's like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. My thought is that this is something that, it's going to take, it's like we're one house, and there's people with, there's hundreds of thousands of people that don't have electricity right now. They're not going to worry about one house. They'll come to us when they can get to it, right? With these service orders. So I have a neighbor who is somewhat of an electrician. He works in like dispatch, and he sends people out to take care of these things, but he works for a totally separate company, like in the commercial side. So he came down and he took a look at it, took a look, and he's like, well, your transformer looks good. And he talked all this medical mumbo, or this technical mumbo jumbo, which I had no idea what he was talking about, right? And he's like, but I think that it may be the line that runs from your transformer down underground to your meter at your house. And if that happens, you're gonna have to dig everything up and run a new line, right? And it was like, and he goes, and by the way, you may not own that, or you may own that. And if that's the case, then you're gonna have to pay for them to do that. And so it's like, shit, right? So at this point, I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna have to stay at my in-laws' house for 5 days, and this is crazy. And you know what? When we literally packed up pretty much our entire house, we had to take all of our food out of our refrigerators, our freezer, get all the dogs packed up. We essentially were ready to move for a week. And today around, I don't know, it was about 24 hours after we first got the notice that something was wrong. And like I said, our entire neighborhood, we're the only house that is not getting any power at this time. And our meter reads nothing. There's literally nothing going through to the meter at all. So there's no power at all running to our house. So we stay the night at my in-laws' house, and Kristen gets an email from one of our neighbors, and she said, hey, did you see, I want to preface this with, we live in a fairly small town, right? So an email from the mayor was sent out to the residents saying like, hey, if you're having trouble, we're all working with the same company here. So if anybody's having trouble or doesn't have power and hasn't seen any sort of power flicker on and off, let us know. So there's a phone number on the email, and Kristen's like, well, I guess I'll just call the phone number. And she doesn't know where the phone number is to, so she calls this number and she goes, hello, and the guy's like, hello, and she goes, I saw this number, I should call. Who am I speaking with? And the guy goes, I'm your mayor, ma'am. and it was like, oh, I'm talking to the mayor. So Kristen explained the situation. The mayor then took down our home address, and then he's like, hey, listen, I'm going to do my best to I know there's cars, service cars going out and trucks out. I'm going to see if I can get you on the list so they can stop by your house. So as that's happening, I'm like, well, a couple hours pass and figure it out. We're just kind of waiting patiently. Some police officers are circling around, just the community, the area, or whatever. And one of them gets stopped because Kristen plays bunco. Do you know what bunco is?
I've heard of bunco.
I don't even know. It's just some game. It's a game that
sounds like a grandma game.
It is. It's like it's a bunch of older women get together and they play this like card game or something. I don't know. It's pretty much an excuse for them to drink, right? But
Okay.
she was texting with her bunco group about this, and her bunco group is like all up on this. So one of her bunco ladies is outside, stops the cop, and she's like, and the cop's like, well, I'm glad that we're getting all these people taken care of. Do you know anybody that doesn't have energy? And she's like, no, the schistomuses don't have energy,
Mm-hmm.
So the cop apparently goes and he finds a service truck and he brings it to her house and it was very like, it was like everything that was right. Like the neighbors are like trying to help everybody out. The mayor's pitching in. Then as the service truck pulls up, because at this point I'm back at the house. I'm back at the house just waiting for somebody to show up because my wife is texting the mayor, who's like, well, I think we got somebody coming out this way. So then my neighbor who came out the other day comes down with all his tools and he's like, well, let me help out a little bit. And he's like helping out. And he's like, well, so we find out it's the breaker. It's the main breaker to my house, in addition to some major power issues. So the power company they fix everything. And my neighbor's out there taking a look, and we're talking about how we can switch out this breaker and stuff. And he's like, hey, I'm going to help you out, and that's what a good neighbor is. And while he's talking, my neighbor from across the street comes over, and she just drops off some soup, and she's like, I just thought you guys were hot or were cold, so I wanted to warm you guys up. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, am I
hey, everybody, these people over here need help. Come on,
right.
Let's go.
It was the greatest like thing ever. And I was like, this is the coolest thing. This is everything that's right with America. Like the idea that like, well, look, I'm going to help out my neighbors and they're going to come together and help out. Then me and my neighbor went up to the Lowe's and we bought another breaker and he helped me install it. And now this is why we're here, because the community came together to help this poor slub and his family out. I mean, I'm not a poor slub, but this idiot that,
I'm not a poor slub, but I am an idiot.
Well, it was like, and Wolffox says, damn, he says, damn, Craig, you got lucky. You're right. I did. I got lucky because I have great neighbors and they care. And it's everying. Like it's
like the end of It's a Wonderful Life, where everybody comes and helps him out at the end. And it's like, everybody, thank you so much. Yeah, that's incredible.
Banner Woodard says, he says, that's how communities should be. And Banner Woodard says, Southern hospitality. Yo, that's right. It was insane. Brockerock says, that's such an amazing story of a community. I imagine a summer block party hosted by Craig in July. 100. Yeah, that will absolutely happen. So I feel extremely lucky, right? Because 24 hours ago, I was literally staring at my phone in front of a lamppost and thinking that it was going to be a week before I could stream or be in my house again, right? And here we are. And to be clear, the rolling blackout thing is still happening, and it could end at any time. So we are still going to be pretty concise tonight, but it's been a few hours. I feel okay. I think the temperature's starting to rise again, and there's no more precipitation in the forecast. So I think we're okay, but I don't know. So,
do you want to hear my story? It's not as good as yours.
Oh, sure.
This is how lucky we've been over on our side of everything, which we've just been nonstop, been like, thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much, Lord, for letting us just continue on our days. So we have not had any rolling blackouts. We have been lucky, and I don't want to jinx myself live online because I might just go away, because there are people around us who don't have electricity, same as you, but we haven't been affected. Our trouble came yesterday when we had our oldest Dylan's birthday yesterday, turned 9. Kelly was trying to make a cake. She didn't have baking powder, so she had to text some friends, and our neighbor across the street had baking powder. So I had to put on my coat and go across the street to borrow some baking powder. It's not as good as your story.
But that's like, whether it's sugar or baking powder or a neighbor community, that's exactly like that's what a community should be, you
Right.
know, like, you know, the old saying of love thy neighbor, right? Like we are it, like we're going to make cookies, and Kristen's like, I got to make cookies and I got to make some bread to show thank you, to say, to bring them to these people that just took time out of their day to make sure that we're okay. And that is amazing. And by the way, we obviously meant to call you yesterday, but the internet situation wouldn't allow it. So happy birthday, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll let him know.
Okay, sounds good.
Whatever. I'll let him know you're, I don't know, just dealing with the weather.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It's been great because our community is the same way in that sense that we're all checking on each other. You know, we have two sweet ladies that live next door to us, so we wanted to make sure they're doing okay, and our neighbors across the street, of course, and some of our kids' friends down the street, you know, that we're friends with, and everybody all of a sudden, you know, is checking in with each other, which is a silver lining, I think, of everything that's happening in Texas, because it's been such a divisive, you know, past couple of years, like just so draining that even though we're all in the midst of this like crazy situation right now where we could all really be extra pissed, we're all sort of coming together. Churches are opening up to bring in community members and people that are without electricity, and they're making food, like you said, and they're trading their expertise on how to solve problems, and it's a really like refreshing thing to see in the midst of all this. So
right, yeah, it's crazy. It really is. And you know, I was thinking about this yesterday with Kristen. Like, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, having the worst weather that we've seen in 70 years, and I was like, man, like we're sitting there in the dark as we're freezing our nuts off. It's like 8 degrees outside. And we're like, God, like this really sucks right now. You know, like, man, and I always want to preface it like, there are people who have it so much worse. I said it last night in the video, and that's why I'm forever thankful for, you know, like, you know, I think about the one thing that continuously popped into my mind was all the people that didn't have somewhere to go last night and the last 2 nights, all the animals that didn't have somewhere to go last night, that's not used to -2 degrees and -20-degree wind chill, you know, like that's scary. Like that's legitimately scary. And you know, I saw a stat. I thought I saw like 14 people have died from this throughout the country because of this storm, which I actually think that's pretty miraculous that it's that low, you know, given the amount of this situation.
Especially in Austin, because they've had it really bad. We have some family down there in Austin that have been without power for several days now, and Austin has an extremely large homeless population.
Right.
So that number does seem, thankfully, extremely low. And hopefully everybody's finding a place to stay and stay warm and be safe. And it's like I said, the silver lining is that like people are helping each other out right now.
Right.
It's really a nice thing to see.
And you know what? You know, there's mention of COVID in there, people like bypassing the precautions. Like, you know what? Like when it just gets down to shit, you know, like when the shit gets in your face, you do what you can. You just figure it out, you know? Like it's really pretty amazing. You know, when it really gets down to it, you just go like, man, fuck it. I just got to be a good person. You know, at least I would like to think most people do. You know, I just want to help out. Just want to do what I can. And I don't know.
I think most people are like that. And like, there's this some sort of overtone from the last four or 5 years where like we have to be perfect all the time, whatever that is supposed to mean, whoever standard that is. And I think most people are like, look, I'm doing my best, you know, I'm going to help out when I can for sure. But like, please don't like just keep slapping my face every day and telling me I'm a crappy person, because I think that's what's happening on the internet. You know, that's what I think is another silver lining, is that everybody who's without power right now is without internet, which is a total 180 from the life we've been living. I wake up every day. I use the electricity to get on the internet and learn how crappy I am. And now they don't have the internet. And now they're face to face with all these people. And they're learning, oh, you know what? We can actually live in a nice community and help one another get through this thing that is called life. And life does not exist on the internet. It exists right now in this moment. So,
you know what happened yesterday? We couldn't go to it because we were making our way over to our in-laws' house. But there was the Bunko group got together, and they.
I did not know she was in a Bunko group. Now she will never live this down. I don't even care what the game is.
She loves it.
The most rock and roll game you've ever told me. But the fact is, it's called Bunko.
Yes. It's funny. They're like, let's just all get together and have a drink together. Like it was like 4:35 yesterday. They're like, let's just get together in the afternoon, and the kids will pull. It felt normal as normal can be in the middle of a global pandemic, in the middle of the worst weather that we've seen in 70 years. It was just cool. It was just really, really cool.
I'll tell you something that was felt very normal for me today is I took a trek to the grocery store today, and because I found out the grocery store was going to be open till 5, and I was like, oh, I better get out there, and just because we don't know what's going to happen, we'll just get a few extra things and come home. And I knew that they weren't going to have a lot of stuff there already, but made the trek out there. I felt like I was on an expedition, driving through the snow roads and everything. And what was funny was I got there, and our family, we eat so specifically nowadays that everything we typically buy is still there because nobody else eats it.
Right.
So it was a regular shopping trip after all. And I was like, well, this is actually a pleasant little shopping trip amidst all this craziness. So it was kind of funny. All the meat-free options and gluten-free and different weird things. So it was funny. It's just funny.
I'll tell you this, I've been eating so well. I went 50 days and I ate at spectacular. I would say not spectacular. I would say I on a scale of 1 to 10, I ate like a 9, right? And the last 3 days I've eaten like a 2. Like I've been eating cookies and pizza and like all this crap that I haven't eaten. So as soon as all this ice thaws, like I'm back on it.
Survival mode. It's like 2 days in, in, and we're like, give me a cookie. I need something. Gosh.
Right. It was so stupid.
Which is why I'm glad I told you at the beginning of the year, I did a 3-day fast. And then at the beginning of this month, I did a 3-day fast. So like Kelly and I have been doing that together both times. And we're like, we're going to do that every month. And that has prepared us for this, I think. Because if we have to go 3 days without eating, we know we can do it. We're not going to need no stinking cookie, but it does sound good right now.
You got to pack on that winter weight. That's right.
We're going to come out after a week of Texas winter. We'll all be like, oh, gosh, I just had to eat whatever I could to survive.
All right. So we've talked about everything that's right in the world. Now it's time to flip the cap around. Ooh. Go 180 degrees and talk about all.
Going here, though.
I know. We had such a great episode. We should just end it right there.
Yeah,
but we're not.
But we're back on the internet.
That's right.
So we have to crush. We have to soul crush here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, look. Let me preface this by saying, like, we all know there's a lot of really, really, really crappy people on the internet. Right. People say things on the internet that they would not say in real life. It's like everybody's trying to be a shock jock. Everybody's trying to draw eyes to their product. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that has been the case so true today as Rush Limbaugh died.
Yeah.
Now, I'd also like to preface this and say, like, I don't know a whole lot about Rush Limbaugh. I don't know. Yeah. I know he's a radio guy. Mm-hmm. I know that he's fairly conservative. He's a conservative guy on the radio, he's Republican and all that stuff. I know that he is thought very highly of in the radio world for his innovations, and I also know he has a net worth of $500 million.
Really?
So he did very well for himself. But I know that, like I said, I don't have a a dog in this race, right? I can't say I've ever listened to Rush Limbaugh before, but as somebody who appreciates radio, right, who values the Howard Sterns of the world, and the innovators, like here in Dallas, we got this guy Norm Hitzkiss, right, who's been doing it for 40 years, and these guys have literally changed radio. I have to think of like Mike Reiner here in Dallas, right? These guys who changed radio in their little areas, right? That's how Rush Limbaugh is thought of, right? He was one of the people that was mentioned when I was going to school. Like Rush Limbaugh is a very I think I remember the phrase hard-nosed conservative who has a conservative talk show that is listened to by a ton of people, right? That's pretty much all I knew about him. Yeah. Larry King, people like Larry King, who died recently, right? There are people who are,
they're just certain icons, radio
icons, tentpole programming, right?
Whether you like them or not, they're radio icons, right?
Right. So he died, and I was really interesting because I knew for a short time that he worked for ESPN. And did you know that Rush Limbaugh worked for ESPN?
No, I didn't. Yeah. The most I've really known about Rush, I think my introduction to Rush Limbaugh was through Grandpa. I think Grandpa listened to Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. And then like, I haven't really ever paid attention to him.
Right. So he was 70. He died of lung cancer. Right. And I just did a really quick search of Rush. I want to share my screen real quick and show you this really fast. People talking about he had a pill addiction. Yeah, I would not. I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but I wouldn't doubt it, right? But I also wouldn't say it happened. I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy. So these are the first articles that popped up. I just Googled Rush Limbaugh ESPN. Okay. And I'm going to read these headlines for you. After nearly 20, by the way, these are all today. Nearly 20 years ago, Rush Limbaugh lost his job at ESPN because he wouldn't stick to sports. Okay. A look back at Rush Limbaugh's foray into the sports world. Rush Limbaugh, dead at 70, spewed racist filth from every pulpit, including ESPN's. So naturally, I caught that, and I thought to myself, let's read about this. This is Deadspin. Deadspin is a pretty prominent sports blog, and naturally this is a common theme in media, by the way, where you pick a picture that is not pleasing when you want to, jump on. Or if you want to make somebody look good, you pick them smiling, And this one they might as well put like devil horns on him, right?
That's the only picture of him,
right? The only one
that we could find for this article,
right? Yeah. So here we go. Noted fearmonger Rush Limbaugh died Wednesday. He was 70 and an asshole. Oh, this is so. I wonder how the slant here. I would like to. I just want to read the first paragraph here. And as Noodle says, Gawker. Yes, this is Gawker for sure. Yes. Rush Limbaugh, who died on Wednesday at the age of 70, was a terrible human being whose hate the world is better off not having it. That includes the sports world, which at least did its best to expel Limbaugh years before the physical world finally did. That's the first paragraph in this, right?
It's not so I was like too good for old Rush there.
Right. So I looked at this guy and I was like, man, I looked at this guy, the writer of this, and I was like, who is this guy, right? Yeah. And so he wrote this over a year ago. He wrote this because what happens is people will write these things, they'll write these articles about people, and he wrote this a year ago.
Wow.
Wow, what a piece of trash this guy is.
Just ready.
Yeah, ready to pounce, man.
That reminds me of the old Saturday Night Live bit where they were doing a bunch of ways Gerald Ford died. And President Gerald Ford has died from, and they have like all these different
right.
stories ready to go. So he actually had one ready to go, you're saying?
Yes, this is common practice in the news, by the way.
Mhm.
Right? When you watch you'll watch somebody will die on ABC and they'll do a montage. Like they've had that montage ready to go. It's been done for 6 months because as soon as somebody is diagnosed with something, they're like, "Oh, get the montage ready." It's common
Try to get
practice.
those clicks.
Right. So I was like, man, like I didn't know people hated this guy. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess given today's world, everybody hates everybody, right? So I just Googled, why do people hate Rush Limbaugh? And
Good question.
so here we go. Rush, this is on Rolling Stone. Rush Limbaugh did his best to ruin America.
Oh,
Right. Right. Okay. Sounds good. Obviously the reaction, I couldn't go to Forbes because you got to pay for that. And I don't want to pay for it right here. Rush Limbaugh leaves behind. So there's really no answer though. It's just,
yeah.
Rush Limbaugh, radio king and architect of right wing, dies. Okay. How Rush Limbaugh's rise after the gutting and the fairness doctrine led to today's highly partisan media. Okay. Then I Googled, why do people love Rush Limbaugh? And the same article popped up. Rush Limbaugh did the best to ruin America. Here we go. New York Times. Rush Limbaugh taught Republicans to love an angry, racist bully. Right. This is on the why do people love Rush Limbaugh?
This is what is this Google results? So they've got their I'd be curious to see what would happen if you type that in on another browser. What kind of results you would get?
Let me do that real quick. Hold on.
But yeah, that's crazy. You could pull up. This is what I saw today when this happened. You could pull up my screen. Happy Rush Limbaugh is dead day. I didn't even get a chance to put my tree up. This is
what an
asshole. I don't know who this girl is. Looks like she's got a podcast.
Wow.
That's great. No, look, like I said, I don't know Rush Limbaugh. I barely listened to him very much in my life. Whenever I had, maybe it was just there. I don't know. But like, why do we do this? This should be our what are we doing clip of the day or segment of the day. Because look, the thing is, when like you got that article that you just pulled up that said he spewed anger or hatred from every orifice of his body. Talking that way at this point is like saying, it's like the antithesis of saying you love something. We just throw it out there. Oh, I love Sour Patch Kids candy, right? We don't really mean that we love it, but now we're all of a sudden we're using this hate mongering stuff every single day and every chance we get, and it's just like exhausting.
Whoa. Now, real quick, this is since it brings up that it says she's in Cars 3. I bet Pixar Disney isn't going to cancel her.
Like, yeah, I saw that.
Wow. Like,
yeah, she is. She's Cruz Ramirez in Cars 3. This girl is. Well, we better have a talk with her about the way she's handling herself on the internet. She should not be doing any more work with Disney. That's for sure. We'll have to cancel this girl.
That's crazy. That is insane, really. The fact that I mean, will anything come of it? We all know the answer to that. No, of course not. But
no, but it's just exhausting to see. There's so many comments of that, and you see a lot of people, that are agreeing with this girl, that are just like, posting laughing memes and things like that. But she has gotten pretty ratioed by people saying, regardless of what you think of the guy, like, don't ever wish death to anyone, no matter how terrible. This is why we will never progress,
Right.
Like, yeah, can we just grow up for a moment and like, just, you are disgusting. Yeah, just you don't have to say something every time. You just don't. So I don't know. What are we doing? Why do we have to be so mean? Is everybody really hate-filled, trying to ruin America? Are we all racist? Is everybody that, what is the cradle we're trying to fit this in, that to where you could say that is a good person?
Right.
Because I don't see it on the internet.
That's crazy. Vilcher says, honestly, do you really think she has any clue as to who he was? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I legitimately don't know. You bring up this idea, this thought process that everybody has to have an opinion about everything, right? It's all about them retweets, all about them likes. You got to get them likes, got to get them retweets, because I got to have an opinion about things. I got to be shocking. I talked about the shock jock mentality of everybody. Everybody has to be Howard Stern. Everybody has to do shocking things on the internet to get them clicks, right? And it's fascinating. Like it legitimately is fascinating to see.
Even Howard Stern, he's not shocking anymore.
Oh no, he's just an interview guy. That's
just
it.
a guy. And if he said if he started his career today with everything that he started his career with 30, 40 years ago, he would be canceled so fast.
Yep.
But he's, what happened? Did he change? Is he walking on eggshells? Who's he? I don't know what's happened with Howard Stern, but he's not, he's watching himself. That's clear. He's not saying or pushing the boundaries like he used to.
Oh, no way. No way. Absolutely not. No, it's crazy. It really is. It's just,
do we dredge up every shocking bit that he did back then and hold it against him today? Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
well, I don't know. I was going to bring that up. The idea, like, the one thing when we talked about the Gina Carano thing, people were, there was a lot of comments that said, like, well, the Gina Carano thing is a lot different than the guy who did the kitty comments. I don't remember what his name was, James Gunn. And there was a lot of like, well, and it was because he was like, 10 years. It's been 10 years, and it's for forgive and stuff. Okay, that's fine. And I think everybody has different standards for that stuff, right? But then when you think of like Howard Stern, and he does his bit, the weather, or it was the traffic lady, who was like all the stereotypes you can possibly have. Like you think of the movie Private Parts, and if that movie was released today, I was trying to pull up like it's glorified. It's glorified in those things. So
yeah. Private Parts, I haven't watched that in a long time, but I love that movie.
I love it.
And it's just funny, and the fact that he plays himself, and just the whole thing. And there's like so many like chauvinistic moments, sexualization, over sexualization of women, all that stuff. And it's now like, well, he gets a free pass, while everybody else, whoever did anything, we got to pull that along with them if we decide we don't like them,
Right. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff. But as Nick says, the problem with Twitter, as I said in an earlier podcast, people read tweets however they want to read them. Yep.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yep. For sure. I would love to reach out to that lady. I would love to reach out to her and be like, yo, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like legit, like, are you okay?
What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Like, are you okay? Like maybe not open, like, what's wrong with you? Just like, are you okay? Do you really hate this person this much that you were glad that they're dead? Or reach out to that author, the writer at Deadspin, who says these things, Jesse Spector, you're like, yo, do you really feel that strongly about Rush Limbaugh, that you're glad he passed away and is dead? Like, really?
No, because the answer to that is actually no. I wasn't even thinking about him ever at all in my life until I saw that he was trending on Twitter, and I had to put something out with my mouth, and they typed something. And so, that's the funny thing behind all of these media trends is that it's just somebody sitting somewhere who goes, I'm going to put this out today. You know, the internet is divided by, you know, whatever. The new Ryan Long, the comedian Ryan Long, put out an incredibly funny skit this week all about how to be a blogger or a vlogger or whatever, and how you
have the genius.
Yeah, it's hilarious. If you guys aren't following Ryan Long and you like a comedian that's pushing the limits, he's like the only one that's doing it right now. But he's so dead on with his latest video. I highly check it out. It's how to be a blogger or a vlogger, and he makes fun of Vice a lot,
right?
Vice magazine and their content. So he's a really funny guy.
All right, before we finish up, let's finish up with a quick reaction to why isn't Howard Stern canceled?
6FM WWWW. I don't know, something in me just snapped. My name is Howard Stern, and welcome to the new morning show. And we have a new feature for you. This is something special. We have a traffic copter now here at WWWW. Let's go up to Mama Look Boo Boo Day in the traffic copter. Mama, you there?
You cannot laugh at that. You're not allowed.
Okay, sorry.
Hello, Mama. Up. Hello.
Yes, hello. This is Mama Look Boo Boo Day, the only black traffic reporter in the Detroit area, I'm proud to say.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance this morning, Mama. Tell me, what's going on in the traffic?
First, a political statement, if I may.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Oh no. Oh no.
Don't do it. You're gonna get us canceled.
Kill, kill, kill. The white man.
That's the entire internet right there.
My pen name, because I wrote this while I was in the pen. Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh. Will?
Kill, kill, kill the white man.
This is a
Kill him or kill. He is dead.
kill him till he's dead.
Kill the white man.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
He just goes on to the next song.
That guy, right? Hey, look, he just crossed the line there. That producer in that show is all of the internet right now. It's like, no, you can't do that. Like, we gotta loosen up. We gotta just loosen up. And I don't know what else to say, but like, that's funny. I don't.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. It is. Just laugh at it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like I told I want to do an entire show. I want to do it like Brad and I are trying to figure this out. I want to do an entire show about when people come up to you and they tell you how you should feel. It's okay to just be like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't feel like there's enough of that today. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't need to hear your crap. Like, I think it's totally okay to be shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. I don't shut up. I don't want to hear it. Shut up.
Yeah.
You know? I don't feel like there should be no problem with saying shut up. Don't hear it. Don't shut. You know?
Yeah.
So
just I don't know you. Stop. You don't know me. Just don't.
Just shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah. Zip it. Scotty says zip it. Whatever. Yeah. We should do a really Craig and Brad Weekdays with Craig and Brad's most offensive episode of all time. Or something. We'll just see how offensive we can get without being offensive at all. That would be the whole crux of the episode is not doing anything offensive, but also being very, very offensive. Sometimes I feel like we're already doing that just by you and me being who we are.
Oh man, it's fascinating. Yeah, like I told you, there's a comment that we could do another show on just based off of it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Man, let's see real quick. Chancho has a good question. He says, do you think that the whole cancel thing is a reaction to our generation loving Howard Stern, South Park, and early Simpsons and Family Guy? Absolutely not, because those people who watch those shows have a sense of humor. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
or they
like,
did, and then
yeah.
they bought into this idea that they were doing something wrong by laughing at those things, and now they've got to change it, because our generation has grown up taking things that we thought were great and then we just crumple them up and ruin them.
Oh, sure.
So and we've talked about that plenty of times, but that's a possible thing, that you grow up thinking that something is funny, and then society sort of pressures you into this idea that you were doing something very wrong back then by laughing at that, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. And there are certain things are justified, certain slander. Maybe we shouldn't say that anymore. Maybe
Right. Oh,
maybe it is
sure.
a little outdated. Maybe we step away from that. But do we have to beat down and destroy somebody if maybe they're not caught up to that yet? Or maybe they just happen to think certain things are funny. I don't know. It's the destroying of the person that really gets me. Is that oh, do you know what they did? They were laughing at that. Like, somebody could easily be like, Weekdays with Craig and Brad, you cannot watch that show. They pulled up this Howard Stern clip. We didn't make the clip, by the way. That's Howard Stern 25 years ago.
Nope.
Something like that. We didn't make it, but we showed it, and we kind of giggled at it, and maybe some other people watching also laughed at it. And gosh, how could you?
Hey, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
That's a really important question we need to start asking each other. Hey, come on, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong?
So, talk about it. Go look in the mirror. Ask yourself, what's wrong with you?
Brock says, and to those people I say, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah. The scene from Groundhog Day, which I feel like a lot of us are living in these days, where Ned Ryerson comes up and he punches him in the face. That's how we need to kind of move forward in life. Ned, maybe not punch. I don't want to look. I'm not condoning violence, but yeah, if we could just be like, shut up, and move on, that'd be great.
You got it for sure. That's a great scene. Ned, hey. All right, cool, man. This is great. I've enjoyed this episode. You saw the best of the world. We all saw the worst of the world, which is good. I think that these are things that we should be talking about. So yeah, man, I love it.
Back, Craig. I'm glad you made it.
Me too. If you guys are just popping in, go watch this when it's on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it if you did. It was a really fun episode. Legends, I appreciate you popping in. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow at my normal time. If you are watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to head over to twitch.tv/CraigSkits right now, because we are going to continue with Mortal Kombat Madness. We're gonna get round 1 in this week for sure. So head on over there right now. It's insanity. It's crazy. It's so fun, and I encourage you to come check it out. Hopefully my internet doesn't go down and power and everything is back up all good tomorrow. So hopefully there's no rolling blackouts. We'll see. But I appreciate everybody being here today. Brad, you got anything before we go?
Just want to tell everybody to stay safe. If you're here in Texas, find someplace warm to stay if you can, and take care of yourself. Yes,
there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of shit right now, and just please take care of yourselves. And if look. I'm going to be paying this son of a bitch forward. These people were so nice to me today. And if just be good to people. That's all we ask. Just go be good to people, and be the best you can be. Remember, people are going to try to bring you down. Don't let them. You got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.